Teslarati has just reported that Tesla is preparing for a monstrous Q2 with the Fremont factory running 10 to 20% above capacity. Is this actually true, or do I sense a little bit of overexcitement here from one of my favorite websites, Teslarati? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans and it's great to see you today. Thank you all very much for subscribing to the channel. Welcome, all you new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Teslarati say that the Fremont factory is running at 10 to 20% above capacity. I'm not sure that's possible. I don't know if they quite understand what the word capacity actually means. In addition to that, we need to have some context here. What's going on at Tesla's factory in Berlin, right? That's going to affect their Q2, whether or not it will be massive. What's going on at Tesla's factory in Texas? That's going to affect it as well. And probably more than anything else, what's going to affect Tesla's end of the quarter results is what's going on in China. And that, my friends, is very, very bad. Teslarati says that Tesla is preparing for a monstrous second quarter as Chip Chowdhury of Global Equities Research released a new note this morning that indicates the Fremont factory in Northern California is running as much as 20% above capacity. On the heels of its biggest quarter in company history, Tesla is working to keep its streak of growth in vehicle deliveries intact. Recent shutdowns of the Shanghai production facility in China have hindered Tesla's outlook for Q2. But the automaker is rebounding in the best way possible as demand increases. Now, I don't think Tesla need any more demand. That's really got nothing to do with Tesla's current situation. What they need is for things like this to happen, for 4680 battery cell production to ramp up, right? So they can get more vehicles out of the factory in Texas. What they need is for China to stop being maniacs about COVID and to let them actually continue building their production lines where they need to double their production in China. That's their plan, right? That's their plan by the end of this year, to double production. Is that happening? No, of course it's not. They have no one working. The only people they have working are people that are stuck in the factory. They've got to sleep there. They've got to eat there. They can't leave. It's like a jail. It's a prison. You can't imagine they're increasing production under those circumstances, can you? No. In addition to that, what else is going on in China? Well, supply lines are devastated. I mean, people all over China are being forced to stay in their houses. That includes companies. I'm talking mostly this is Shanghai, but it's not just Shanghai. It's many other places as well. Tesla's figures in China this year, unfortunately, will be way below what I said they would be. Why? Because I couldn't have predicted the Chinese government's irrational response to the latest COVID. Who knows? I mean, everyone else has moved on. We have to move on. The world has to move on. China has decided, no, we don't want to move on. Will this affect Tesla in Q2? Absolutely. Will Tesla have some amazing Q2, even in spite of all this, in spite of their most productive factory being shut down, probably for a third of the quarter? No, of course, it's not logical. Anyway, Teslarati says the Fremont factory has an annual production rate of 600,000 vehicles. Tesla stated in its most recent shareholder deck it builds all 4 currently offered Tesla models and is the only factory to manufacture each vehicle in Tesla's lineup. Breaking down to about 150,000 vehicles per quarter, Tesla could be operating with at least 30,000 additional cars out of Fremont in Q2, a hefty supplemental number to accommodate lost progress in Shanghai this quarter. In April, Tesla was forced to shut down Gigafactory Shanghai due to a COVID-19 outbreak in the region. The Shanghai production plant was kept dormant for 3 weeks. There was some shutdowns in March as well. All but axing Tesla's hopes to continue a streak of growth in vehicle deliveries. Tesla's 310,000 deliveries in Q1 of 2022 outshined any previous quarter, but assistance is definitely needed if the automaker plans to continue growth in production and deliveries. Chowdhury, who, by the way, I highly respect as an analyst, definitely worth listening to, said his routine checks on Tesla's Fremont facility had been evidence of a massive production push in Northern California. This month especially has shown major progress. May 2022 is off to an extremely strong production shipments and deliveries, Chowdhury said in a note. Fremont factory is running 10 to 20% above capacity and comments that the second quarter is shaping to be a monstrous quarter. Now, like I said before, I don't understand how a factory can run at 10 to 20% above capacity. What do? Just put all the machines in fast forward? I mean, wouldn't that be the actual capacity, whatever that fast forward is? It doesn't add up to me. Someone please explain to me this logic, because my math brain is clearly challenged when it comes to this concept that he's come up with of 20% above capacity. Anyway, there was something else interesting worth pointing out. The note stated that the recent imagery of the Fremont factory shows more logistics vehicles arriving at Fremont, especially when comparing daily pickups of completed cars to the first quarter. Now, Chowdhury says there are at least 20% more shipping trucks arriving at the facility compared to last quarter, which could indicate any number of things, including an increased need for vehicle haulers to push completed vehicles to their customers. What I find interesting as well is Chowdhury's stock price. He's extremely bullish on Tesla. He has a street high $2,300 target and a buy rating on Tesla stock. Tesla shares have tumbled over the past week as Elon sold $8.5 billion worth of stock to fund his purchase of Twitter. Now, currently, Tesla's stock price is at historic lows. Seriously, it's at historic lows. Probably hard to believe, right? But it actually is, if you go on their price to earnings ratio. Today's price to earnings ratio is at around about 120. When the stock dipped below 900, it was down to actually about 110, which is actually the lowest point it's ever been in the history of Tesla, which is quite incredible when you consider it was up at nearly 200 not all that long ago. And in fact, a year ago, it was closer to 600. So actually, Tesla stock right now seems like a pretty good buy historically when you consider its price to earnings. Now, am I saying you should buy the stock? Yes, but not if you're from Australia, because I'll get fined if I tell Australians to buy stocks. It's also worth considering the fact that Tesla's stock price was sitting at $684 on May the 3rd of 2021. Today, it's sitting at $890. Considering the massive increase in revenue and profits and the fact that it's the fastest growing company in history, well, that's not much of an increase in price. All that said, it's definitely still important to be realistic and not get carried away with the hype of just loving one brand. And don't get me wrong, you guys know I do love Tesla, the brand, but there are other car companies out there. And in addition, there are other problems out there. And Tesla right now can't do a lot to stop the Chinese government from being irrational, being crazy. As you've seen in this video, many of you who thought I was being paid by the Chinese government, now no, I'm not. Because if I was, all that money would stop once this video was published. And in fact, I'd probably be hidden away, put in some jail and tortured for the next 10 years of my life before finally emerging, or after which I might call myself something like the Frazzled Viking, or I don't know, something to that effect. Anyway, let's be realistic here. Tesla's outcome this year. Let's be realistic here. Tesla's production numbers for the second quarter this year, they're not going to be anywhere near as good as what we originally thought they'd be. Originally, people were thinking their production numbers would be closer to something like 500,000 in the second quarter of the year. Even 450 to 550 I was hearing. However, I think a realistic number is probably somewhere closer to 350,000, even with Gigafactory Berlin, which by the way is not producing many cars per week yet. If you want to know how many they're producing, I'll put a link in the description below to my video about that. And obviously Gigafactory Texas is not doing much either. I mean, we haven't even seen the new 4680 battery cell Tesla Model Y appear on Tesla's website. You can't even buy them. So clearly there's not a lot going on there. Obviously the bottleneck there is battery cell supply. Thanks for watching and let me know in the comment section below. What do you think Tesla's delivery numbers will be this quarter? Have a great day. Bye-bye.